So have you ever been to the El Rancho de las Golondrinas, or better known as the
Ranch of the Swallows.
Ranch of the Swallows? Come on, let's go have a look. All right, so Dave and Diane here with Dave and Diane throwing caution to the wind. So we decided today to come up here and check out the Ranch of the Swallows. This is supposed to be a working ranch, right, Diane?
Right.
Bunch of reenactment going on from back in the day. We thought you might like to tag along and have a look at it. So let's go. See? The Ranch of the Swallows. All right, so this structure here is original to the ranch and is the oldest structure here. Made out of adobe, of course. So dirt, water, straw. A lot of clay. All the doors were all handmade. The windows are small, partly for safety, defense. All right, let's cruise inside here. Check out that door with the secondary door. That's pretty cool. All right, so these are the ovens. So they would build a fire inside there, let it burn down, clean it out, it'd be nice and hot inside. They'd take these doors, wrap them in cloth, well, just like over here. They would wrap them in wet cloth, and then put the doors back on it, and that'd be your oven. Then they would use these, like we do now, in pizza shops to get their bread or whatever out. Quite the courtyard. All right, let's go inside and have a look. All right, so this whole building used to be a barn, but now they turned it into a shrine. So I apologize for the voice, but they require masks at all the rooms. So this right here has been hanging for 25 years, they said. It took them 5 years to make it. Now, I forget the Spanish name. Estranos, doggone it, I forgot. But these chandeliers are actually named after spiders. Now, the reason for that is, number one, they're on a pulley system, right? So they come over here, and you have to undo this rope. So when you undo the rope to lower the chandelier, they say it's kind of like a web. And then you lower the chandelier by the web. And then when the candles are all lit, because of the cross here, it makes it look like a spider. So they named it after spiders. And I'll be doggone if I can remember the name. That's what, we go through the tours, we do these guided tours, and then I forget right away. Look at the tin work around the art. Pretty cool. Now these crosses, they still do it today. All this that looks like gold, because when they came here, they didn't find any gold. That's why they started working with a tin. But now they do inlays with straw. They apply straw on there, and after they coat it, it kind of looks like gold. So this is their shrine, and I forget the guy's name in the middle here, but who they prayed to. But the story is, so up here in the upper left, that's winter, represents winter. Down here in the bottom represents spring. And then over here in the bottom right represents summer. And then up there in the upper right represents fall. That's pretty cool. And there's another cross that they did the straw inlays. And they still do that today. If you go to the Saturday markets and whatnot, you'll still see the straw used in the crosses. It's a pretty cool room. All right, let's move on. All right, let's cruise in here. So you might also notice that all these doors are very, very low. I think I mentioned that before. Lack of material was one of the reasons they did that. So this room would have been occupied by servants. This is where they would work and sleep. So to begin with, this was the fireplace down here. So when they did a fire, they would also, this would double as a bed and also a spot that they would lay out their herbs or vegetables, whatever, and they would use this for a drying rack. So that's pretty interesting. Here's some of the peppers that they've dried. Down below are the stones where they would grind their meal. Let's see, what do we have over here? So this is actually like a cradle for a baby. They would have this lowered to the floor so that if the kid happened to fall out, it wouldn't hurt itself as bad. But mom could sit over there doing her work, whatever she'd be doing, and rock the baby. So this over here, you see the plates. The owners would actually be served with these plates. The servants wouldn't use those. This log is made of cottonwood. Now cottonwood is soft, so it's easy to hollow out. And they would hollow it out and use it for storage. That way mice and whatever else couldn't get to the grains. That's pretty cool. And again, there's that. You'll see those all over. The chandelier is named after a spider, but I can't tell you what that's called. I'll get that figured out pretty soon. All right, let's cruise on to the next room. All right, so this room would be used for trading. You notice it has a desk over here to work at. Look again at the size of the chairs. So the shutters wouldn't be from the original time. This would have happened back when the Santa Fe Trail came through, I believe, 1821 area. Notice the blankets in the corner all folded up. There were no beds. They'd sleep on blankets. So during the day, they'd fold the blankets up, set them in the corner, and they could use those for sitting. All right, let's cruise through here to this room. This room would have been the living room area. This would be known as the ladies' quarters. They considered this the safest room in the entire place because you had a room over here, rooms over there. They considered this very safe. Notice again, they fold up all the blankets. They'd use those for sitting. Fireplace. And again, those shutters wouldn't have been from the original time. Those would have happened when the Santa Fe Trail came through. And that's the way they would normally cover their windows, just hang blankets over them. Alright, so this room is attached to the living room, mainly used for storage. And you go through this doorway, and it leads to the ladder. What a time for a phone call. This ladder leads up to the outlook, which we can't go up to, but that's alright. Alright, then next to the storage room here is where they would do a lot of the work. So this farm had sheep. So, they didn't buy things, they always did trading back then. So they would make blankets and things out of sheep wool. You see the spinning wheel? Here they would use to make dyes. And here's one of the looms. This is a small walking loom. This was actually made by the hands here not that long ago to mimic one of the older looms. Alright, let's carry on.
The opposite side, you press down. And then you put the shuttle through here, what we call the tunnel. Okay, bring it all over to the other side and pull it tight. That's what I messed up. Okay, see, it would come here, and then we would make what we call a little mountain. So, because if not, it would get too tight. Then you pull the harness, tighten it up, and back. Then you go down with the other one, back again. And you pull it back, make a little mountain, and tighten it. You keep doing that, get faster and faster. Anybody want to try it? No?
Alright, so this room was a storage room. You note the small windows. That's a strainer. This is a strainer way back in the day. Pretty cool. Alright, now we're going to go into another weaving room. Let's go check that out. Back out to the courtyard. Then we'll go into the weaving room. Alright, so this is a weaving room. This is the grand loom right here. Check that out. So think about what they went through. So they couldn't go to the store and buy yarn. They had to, like I said, they had the sheep here. They had to shear the sheep. They had to work all the wool, spin it up into yarn, and then dye it, and then they do the work. So a lot of process here. So check out this one right here. So this was actually made to mimic what they had back in the day. In today's world, all these strands would be metal. Here they use reed. Check that thing out. So in that other one, you notice they had 2 steps. They call this the walking loom. Now they have 4 steps that they use. Crazy. Check it out. And here's another room. This is a little bit smaller loom. And this has 2 steps. And it looks like they went to metal. Now they have metal in this one, so this obviously was not back in the day. So they would make their rug here or whatever, and then they'd have to sew sections together to make a blanket that size. All right, let's move on to the next room. All right, and here's the main features of the show for this ranch, right? So there's the sheep. So they would shear the sheep, and they would bring over the wool, lay it out on this table, and clean it. Now back in the day they didn't have soap, so they would use like yucca, the plants, and they get the lanolin, and that would clean it, and then the dirt would fall out underneath the tables. Pretty cool, huh? All right, so I'm going to leave you with a thought. I'm going to stop right here, and I'm going to point to this. I'll come back and tell you what it is later. But once you look at it, think about it, leave us a comment down below what you think this is. I'll come back and tell you. All right, so what it is, when they go out and kill their game, they would hang their game here, pull it up, and they could skin it right there. Did you guess it right? All right, so I should have mentioned that now we're like 100 years gone by from the adobe fort section. So you'll notice a change. You have fabrics, you have pots, you have needles and threads and buttons, all kinds of things, right? So the world has changed for these people. Seeds coming in packages. Times have changed. Glass for windows. You have brooms, all the things. Here you go, washboards. 100 years later, how things change. And here we are at the tin shop. The tin back then was known as the poor man's silver. And the reason for that is, when they came here, they expected to find silver, but they didn't. So they started doing tin work. All these pieces here you're looking at date back into the 1800s. Hey, 1800s. All right, so here's another contraption for you to take a look at. So what do you think that is?
There's a hint.
Look, there's a hint in this video clip, and we'll come back in a minute, and we'll tell you what that does. Put your guesses down below in the comments. All right, here's the back side. And right there is that lookout. Remember we showed you the ladder that take you up there to the lookout? We couldn't go up? Well, that's where it'll take you. Now I'm gonna try and scan around. This actually, you can go for a walk around this. There's 200 acres here. I don't know that we're gonna do this today, but it goes all out in there on top of that hill up over there you see in the distance. It's a huge, huge complex. But right now, we've been touring for a couple, 3 hours, and I think we're getting hungry. So there is a cafe here on site, and I think we're gonna go grab a bite to eat, right, Diane? We're gonna go find a bite to eat somewhere. Oh, we didn't talk about these wagons. Let's talk about the wagons. So these are the wagons they would use back in the day. Check out the wheels. Think about the trails that they had to travel on with those wheels. Now those baskets would hold their wool and their blankets and all the goods that they made, so they could go do their trading. Okay, so we finished our tour up above. Oscar did a great job. The tour lasted what, two and a half, close to 3 hours. So we stopped off the cafe up there. Refilled our fuel banks, right, our energy banks. By the way, if you come here and you get hungry, the breakfast burrito was the size of Diane's head. It was fantastic. The fries were pretty good too. Diane had some sweet potato fries. So anyway, went to the car, got our water. Now we're going to start walking the lower loop. So there is a schoolhouse down here. This is all walking. So this is out in the field and out away from the main campus up there. Fort. So a mill, the blacksmith shop, a school, a church, I believe, another small village. I think that's where we're going to run into Oscar again. Huh?
Vineyard and winery.
A vineyard and a winery,
Orchard.
an orchard. So quite a few things to see. We started at 10 o'clock. It's like what, going on 2 o'clock in the afternoon, starting to get warm. So we'll see how we fare all this. But we found a nice shady spot to stop and tell you what we're going to do. So follow along. We have a lot more to see. All right, so now we're down here at the blacksmith shop. Let's take a look in here. Yeah, pretty cool. So obviously nobody down here doing the reenactments today, but it's always fun to watch them work in the blacksmith shop. Now that's interesting. All right, so this is the mill. Not sure what all's in there. It's locked up, so we can't get in there. Is it a water mill? Oh.
I saw a water wheel on one of them.
Yeah. So there must have been water running down through here. Yeah, good point, Diane. Diane figured it out. So a water mill was here. Cool. All right, well, the sun isn't going to cooperate for this video very well, but here's the schoolhouse. Let's go ahead and check it out. So this is a schoolhouse and also living quarters for the teacher. Here we go. So we're going to walk into the living quarters. This is where the teacher would live. The wash basin, little table, place to cook. Very cool. And then you cruise over here, and it is attached to the school. All right, pretty neat. Now we'll move on to the next spot. All right, so I'm going to have to apologize for any wind noise the rest of this video. But here we go. This is called the meeting place, right, Diane? We're going to check it out. Yeah, there's a Spanish name for it, but I can't say it. All right, so this is locked up. We can't get inside, but I'm going to get you a couple pictures. Here you go. Actually, I'll probably see it better when I see the video myself. All right. Hey, who's that over there in that doorway?
There's a cemetery out here.
Oh, okay. We're going to go around the side here. There's a cemetery around the side. We're going to go check it out. All right, here's where Diane was sticking her head through this door. Oh, there's a window up here. Let's go see what's in this window. Oh, not going to see much. There's actually glass in there. And over here is the cemetery Diane mentioned. Let's go check it out. Oh yeah. Wow. You know what though, you think about it. What a great resting place. Huh? 19 graves out here.
And one with iron.
And one with iron. Everything else has wood. There's one right over there that has iron around it. I wonder what the story is there.
Newer.
The newest one, I guess. All right, so we're either going to have to go back out to that road and walk around to a village over here, or we were told about a shortcut through the woods. Well, knowing us,
It won't be a shortcut.
it won't be a shortcut. All right, so here's the back way. And here's another mill right down there. Let's go check out that mill. All right, we got lucky there. So this was locked up, but luckily we found a guy walking through that had keys. And he took the time to unlock it and give us a real quick tour. I didn't do any video in there because it was so dark, it wouldn't have shown up. But that was pretty cool. But yeah, this is a really neat mill. This is probably one of the more compact mills that Diane and I run across going around the country. All right, we're going to take off now and go to some village, right?
Sierra Village.
Sierra Village. Let's go. All right, so this is a little off the beaten path from what we've been looking at. But what's this, Diane?
It's a movie set.
A movie set house.
Movie set house for the movie Butch and Sundance. Not Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, but the movie that was made after that one.
Oh, what's that?
With Tom Berenger and I don't know who else.
What's the name of the movie?
Butch and Sundance.
Oh, Butch and Sundance. I'm not a TV guy, so I had no idea.
It's supposed to be like in their younger years.
All right, well, we can't get in it. It has nothing to do with this whole ranch thing, but
I saw Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid like 9-10 times, but I didn't ever see that movie.
okay, let's walk around this place. All right, we're just going to do a real quick look around this place. Then we're going to move on to the village. All right, there you go. All right, we're here in Sierra Village. Let's do a little twirl here, Diane.
Twirl,
Let's twirl around. We're going to tour this village. I think it's the last stop, right? Before we head back to the car. All right, let's look around here a little bit. All right, so this is a simple home.
Wait, did I tell you what it is? It is.
This would have been grandfather's house.
So it's a little more advanced, but they still didn't have electricity.
All right, so we're at the back side of this. This is St. Isadora Chapel. I started back here because the sun is cooperating. So what happens here is once a year they have a festival, and it's where they, what do they do, Diane? They're they're gracing the crops, right? Something like that. So a priest will come up here, and they will sit right here during the festival, and over there is where we've been touring, right? All over there. And they will sit up here and oversee the festival of the crops. Now, I may be saying that wrong, but that's pretty close. They'll sit up here and oversee the whole festival. So when we took off walking, we walked from up there. That's where we spent most of our time. We came down a trail. I think you can actually see it. Right over there is the roof of the church we went through. And then up there was the church, right? And then we walked around below, and I think that roof over there, where you can just see that gray roof, that is that movie set. The mill, the cool big mill, is down inside the trees. And then we wandered around up through the trees and came up through this town.
Village.
The village, I should say, the village, the Sierra Village. And then we walked up these stairs, which you don't see, to this chapel. Now we're going to leave back down to the village. We're going to cruise around over here, and we have a few more things to see. So we'll carry on. All right, Diane brought up a good point. I showed the back of the chapel, and then we yacked about the whole village and forgot to show you inside the chapel. So here you go. This is probably 10 by 14. It's not very big. You're looking at the whole thing right here. So this piece you see right down here, when it comes time for the festival, they carry this down to where I told you before was a barn. They turned it into a chapel. They carry it down there for the festival. And then the rest of the year, it just sits up here inside this chapel. So that's pretty cool. Right, Diane?
Right.
All right, we got that right. Okay, now we're going to continue on. So let's go. All right, so right behind the village. Yeah, look at those things coming out from the back of the wall of that village or the house there. That's interesting. Look at the little vineyard they have right here. They probably got, what, a dozen or so grapevines and a real nice orchard back over there. Lots of apples. I'm not sure what this little structure over here is, but we're about to find out. All right, we haven't decided what this little cabin is, but it sure is neat. Oh, look at this. Here's a bunch of squash. Oh, watermelon and squash. Oh, yeah.
Or squash.
I think that's melons. Very cool. All right, let's figure out what this cabin is. All right, we figured it out. Well, Diane figured it out. This is the shepherd's cabin. See if we can see anything inside here. Oh yeah, check it out. Nice little, nice chest, sleeping quarters. Got a guitar up there in the corner. Got his rifle hanging on the wall. Take care of any bear or intruders. Fireplace with the coffee pot and stew pot. Nice little table to sit down. Look at that soup. That's an ice cream bowl right there for me. That might be a soup bowl, but for me, that's an ice cream bowl right there. All right, very cool. Yeah, nice setting. There we are again. There's the orchard, vineyard, house up over there, storage barns. And then we were up on top of that hill where the priest sits, and right down below. All right, and this is the Talpa Mill. Let's look here. Looks like this has the wheel underneath. Yeah, there we go. So water comes down that trough, hits that wheel, spins the stone up inside, which we'll go take a look at right now. Let's take a look. Here we go. Yeah. Hopefully it's not too dark in here. I'm just going to stand right out. You're going to be able to see this. So just, all right, hang on. All right, I was going to be lazy. I didn't want to take the filter off because we're running short on time. Here you go. Can you see in here? So the grinding wheel is in here. I realize it's dark. That's the best we can do. All right, we'll move on. Here we go. We were walking out of this mill. Diane pointed out the roots on this tree. These cottonwood trees, their root system is so shallow, but they're such a cool tree. I'm going to show you some more of this cottonwood tree. Look how big this thing is. These things are ancient. And look at this. You come over here, and the limb comes way out over here, and they're supporting it with this beam. What's on the end of that beam? Is that a bat house? Oh yeah, cool. So the support for that limb, they put a bat house on the end of it.
That's a new bat house.
That's pretty cool. All right, here's their garden, more of their garden. You got corn and peppers and onions and melons and what else, Diane? More corn. Oh, they grow pumpkins too. You got pumpkins out here. So they say when they have their festival, they, of course, they harvest a lot of it and use it. But what they don't use, they donate to the needy. So, and here's your pumpkins up here. And if you're here in the right time of year, you can stomp your own grapes. And what do you do to cider?
Press.
Oh, you press. And you can press your own cider. So that'd be kind of fun if you're down here at the right time of year. All right, let's go check out these buildings real quick. And then we're going to mosey up that hill. All right. Bunch of old wagon wheels in there. Spare parts. Wagon. Look at this. There's an old planter. Single planter. Pretty neat. All right. Look at that. Look at that. Hinges on these windows. Check it out. So you pull those, loosen it up. Look at the hinges on these windows. That's pretty neat. Oh, can't go inside, so but look at that bench. That is a neat bench, and it's sitting on springs. So old leaf springs. That's pretty neat. Here, Diane. Oh man, this is like sitting on a buggy. It's more bouncy. It doesn't rock. I guess you can sit here and bounce. Pretty cool. Boo!
Well, what was that?
Old wagon. Oh, those are some modern tools. Check this out. It's a neat old building, an old lean-to. Look at that wagon. Yeah. Check it out. Ah, another wagon.
Not as primitive as the ones up by them.
Check out that wagon wheel. So cool. And this must be for storage for more tools. Number 24, Diane. What's number 24?
So that must be the carpenter shop.
All right, so number 24 is the wheelwright and carpenter shop. There you go. That makes sense. You got all these wagons out here needing repair. All right, pretty cool. How many times have I said cool? Cool, cool, cool. All right, I don't know what this is either.
Tanning.
Oh, it's for tanning. Oh yeah. Again, apologize for the wind. It's all locked up. And there we go. You can see him stretching out the hides. There's a big skin right there. What do you think, Diane? Yowza. All right, well, we finished up here finally at the Swallow Ranch, or as Diane likes to boast and say.
I don't boast, but El Rancho de las Golondrinas.
All right.
Golondrinas.
So those of you that know how to say this, you let me know down below in the comment if Diane said it right.
I didn't. I messed it up. I messed up Golondrinas.
All right, so Diane and I were the first ones in the door this morning at 10 o'clock, right? And we're almost the last ones out at 4 o'clock. So what I thought was going to be a 2-hour tour.
Well, that's because everything on Yelp and TripAdvisor said, oh, you'll plan on spending an hour and a half, 2 hours here.
Yeah. So truth be known, Diane and I are not known for being quick going through museums. We're that. I always describe it as you see the picture where you look at a sign and you have all the lights going by leaving those streams. Diane and I are the sign and all the streaks are other people going through the museum. We're sitting there reading every word and going back and seeing things more than multiple times, right? So
I think the 2.5 is just the upper portion.
Yeah.
They didn't walk the ground.
yeah, I think if you just came, yeah, like Diane said, if you did just the upper section, 2.5 hours, probably be pretty good. Do a tour, get through it, but we took off and walked the rest of the grounds, which is very interesting. I'm really glad we did it. And as I mentioned before in the video, that cafe is pretty good. $6 breakfast burrito is a very good breakfast burrito. So anything else? Okay. Oscar did a great job. Oscar, if you happen to come across this video, you're a fantastic tour guide. We appreciate you. If you enjoyed this video at all, how about give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down below. We have a lot more to come. As always, have a great day.
Vaya con Dios.
Vaya con Dios.
I don't know what that means.
Okay. Did you just ask her if they wanted a beer? I don't know what she said either. And we'll see you in the next video.
Hasta la vista.
Hasta la vista.